color is Huskar or SF, so they might actually be even if we go super late. And I think it's going to come down to the farm we see on those supports, Queen of Pain itemization, and stuff like Refresher on Winter Wyvern. Of course, either team could win this early, and then we don't have to worry about that at all.
Well, we'll see how this game plays out as everyone is looking for the runes. Let's take a quick look at the lineups before the action starts. Starting with 4CNL up here on the dire side. We've got EGM on that support Lina, followed by Pablo. Standing in on the Scarab Mage, the one position anti-mage will be played by Pycat. We've got Sexy Bambo on that Queen of Pain. And that leaves the offlane Clockwork being played by Nikwa.
Yeah, on the lineup of Golden Boys, we've got Shadow Fiend being played by Kiza, and they're just sentries chillaxing in around them. Not quite sure who those are for. Wyvern's going to be played up by Shanks. I think, no, it's Skanks. Sorry, Shanks
yeah.
is Void Boys. Yeah, that's Skanks. Shanks is on Void Boys. I've been costing a lot of NA Dota if you can't tell. Maybe next time on that offlane Tusk. Huskar going to be played up by Madara, and finally the other offlaner Skylark. Skylark will be farming. Maybe next time is their support player, but I think both going to go try to contest the farm of Anti-Mage.
Yeah, and this, as we were talking about in draft, it can be quite a killer combo, especially if you consider lane supports here on 4CNL. Lina's not the worst, just the Light Strike Array kind of stopping you from trying to go in on 2-ham for fear of just running into the disable and then be in a lot of trouble or just not get the gank off. Pablo, though, he is really good on the Scarab Mage, is zoning out solo offlanes. But if you have two offlaners, you're very quickly running out of mana to do that with. And at the same time, if they run at him, if they get in range for a snowball, then he might be in a lot of trouble.
Both, this lane is hard for everyone involved. As we can see, Light Strike Array is not easy to hit in this lane. You've got a bunch of stuff that you can use to dodge it. Both the Surge can make sure you move fast enough that it's not a problem. And then you have the Snowball, where if you're in a spot of trouble, you can get popped in there and dodge both the Dragon Slave and Light Strike Array. Or anything the Skywrath sends out as well. So it's a really rough lane, I think, for both sides. But they do desperately need a level on the lineup of, Golden Boys. If they can't get level 2 on those heroes, they don't have kill potential.
Yeah, I think that's exactly why we saw these two heroes just posture very aggressively here, not really worrying about stacks and pulls so far. Of course, this ward also, I believe that's blocking the pull. Yeah, it is. Of course, it is. The sentry will find it though.
Oh, and a nice ice block there. I don't know if they can capitalize on it, actually. I'm pretty sure they can kill Nikwa. He needs to be very careful here. They have more than enough auto attacks. They're eating through the trees, and the Wyvern's thinking about cutting him off. But he's trying to use the cogs to get out. Wyvern is smartly wrapped around. Will they find him? Nikwa knows he's in the danger zone. No TP out. He's just hoping to hide. He actually doesn't have... If he had Battery Assault, I think he could have turned this into a kill, but he's just going to go down. And are they going to give Mad Souls to Kiza? They do. He just got himself... he got himself up to 15. He was at 6. Now he's at 15. That just won mid lane, I would argue, for the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, absolutely. You didn't even have to use a whole lot. All these two supporters here, more or less, they did all the hard work.
Yeah.
Kind of rallying or corralling him into that very good spot. Maybe next time also a nice ice block here, nice ice shots, just to lock him in even further with nowhere to go. But Kiza though, might get in trouble himself. Pablo and Sexy Bambo, they come in, but the right clicks and raises are too much. Kiza gets yet another kill under his belt, and Sexy Bambo, nothing left to do for him but get the hell out again.
Yeah, so Sexy Bambo was going for the courier, not Sexy Bambo, sorry. Skywrath, Pablo was going for the courier. He had a haste, a very smart rotation there, and I think actually this would have been worth it if he got the courier with the bottle on it. Unfortunately, the courier delivered the bottle to Kiza before he was able to knock it out. So another one of those, it feels like they tried to make something happen that could have been really lucky for 4 clovers and a leprechaun, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah. Same time though, that does leave Kiza on very low health and mana and with an empty bottle, so... And yeah, no rune is going to spawn anyway, but someone is still putting in just to be that bottle refiller. I really don't know how these heroes are doing it. Maybe they just take a sip out of the fountain, hold it in their mouth, and then spit it into the bottle. But it works. He's full health, more or less. Has enough charge of spares. We see Darkseer up in the top lane actually dying.
Yeah, he just took too many auto attacks. Yeah, he just was slowly worked down. He was surging away, thought he'd get away, but Lina, she has big range, and she got it. So.
Yep. It's really easy to underestimate that range, but really can't. And it's not even really bad attack damage. 54 is quite reasonable for supporting, especially with that kind of range. And now they're going to look to leverage that and more once again in this middle lane. EGM and Pablo both smoked up. They will not find anyone though.
Yeah,
Maybe next time stacking, and Kiza's looking for the bottom room.
They might be able to touch Skylark. I'm a little bit surprised. I guess they thought he would come top rune. They actually went for both runes, so I think the play here for Four Clovers was they wanted to make sure they got both runes, knowing that he has an empty bottle since he can't bottle crow, but also wanting to try to get a gank at one of these, but no such luck.
Yep. Well, it's not that like they're losing too much. Skylark wasn't really doing too much on top lane. Parker just was farming away. But at the same time, so's Madara. He's had pretty much free farm down his bottom lane, and it looks like he may be going straight for that armlet build with the Blades of Attack, unless he wants to go for face boots or something like that in the meantime.
Yeah, a lot of Huskars prefer to get the armlet, sometimes even go as far as the helm. I've seen Huskars, like, have brown boots by the time that they have the Heaven's Halberd up. It's not uncommon, and it's something where, yeah, boots can give you a little bit more, but certainly the helm, lifesteal, of course, now that it stacks with burning spears, and things like getting more armor up on your hero since you're afraid of physical damage are really powerful. So, either way. Gonna be nice for him. Anti-Mage has got pretty good farm as well. Of course, he only has one farming policy. Go Battle Fury. You don't have other options. So.
Well, the only question that you have to make is whether you get the treads first for the extra farming speed from the right click attack, or if you want to maybe, yeah, get a head thrust first to build into the blast later, just so you can sustain a little bit more. But with not much pressure being put on, that straight up Battle Fury might be the way to go, as they're gonna go on him here. Skylark has to search to the right, but the Light Striker still catches him. One more right click should do the trick here, and Pycat will give it over to EGM. That's not how you expect the Darkseer offlane to go. Only level 3.5, he is almost 6 minutes in.
Yeah, I actually really like that they're giving EGM some of these kills as we talked about Madara, yeah. Pure damage.
Yeah,
goodbye.
The tail end of that. Yeah, we're talking about that, how they need to use that to its full effectiveness, and that's exactly how to do it.
Yeah, and I think giving EGM the early farm gonna really help his farm so that he can get up that Yule's Aghanim's. I don't think he'll rush the Ags. I'm not sure though. It probably depends on how the game goes. You certainly need Yule's. Either way, we get a gank in bottom. Snowball coming in. Let's see.
Snowball with 3 heroes inside of it. A couple of raises should do the trick here. Nigma trying to dodge out. Well, he's a little bit too experienced on this particular hero to let that phase him. Another easy kill down the bottom after securing the rune. Kind of trying to turn around the momentum here in this lane a little bit more and get this, get even more momentum on the Shadow Fiend. Kiza, he has 2 kills, 1 assist now, on top of the net worth chart, even though he isn't leading when it's coming to last hits.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend doing really well here. A lot of that just being that first blood and other things going on. He's picking up an Aquila, so it'll be interesting to see what exactly he wants to transition into.
Middle lane.
Yeah.
Might be going maybe next time here. Sexy Bambo blinked in with a little bit of a combo. Now has another scream, and the silence will amplify the damage. Make sure that maybe next time can't really do too much. So Sexy Bambo, he had a lot of damage in return here, tanked a couple of tower shots, but still gets the kill from stealth. And yeah, that means he's also on a pretty good path as far as mids are concerned.
Yeah, both of these mids doing fantastically. They've had great lanes. Also there, maybe next time he tried for the ice shards to push Bambo away, and it just wasn't the right positioning. It's really hard to get, and it looks like maybe next time they go down again. Concussive shot has come out. He's silenced up. Light Striker Ray misses, but I think they have more than enough damage, and goodbye. Pycat tried to get that one, and he just still didn't get it. It was really unfortunate.
He's like really mad right now. Guys, please. I need this.
Yeah, I think he doesn't mind for the Lina, but you don't want, like, Skywrath, what are you gonna get, like a Glimmer Cape? You would rather have the Battle Fury up, as opposed to where the Lina, getting some more farm on her is always good. But they're actually rotating up top again, and they're sending the Huskar up here, so they really want to contest this tower. And they're man-fighting right now, but yeah, we can see Pycat will immediately blink away.
That's not a fight that you really can't take, especially with only 1 point up in the spell shield, and any support that you might have had would have to go through the tower. But now, Sexy Bambo, he found himself an Inma soon. He can go in, but he is being spotted out by the Sentry Ward placed on the Radiant side, so they know what's up.
Yeah, they have super nice. First of all, there are like no wards for Four Clovers. Do they have them in stock? No, so someone's hoarding them and hasn't placed them. But we've got like some really deep ward coverage. They want to slay on the lineup of Golden Boys, right? And they had the lineup for it. You've got a Tusk, you've got a Huskar. You're able to fight from like level 3 with a Huskar, so they really do want to go. Just maybe not able to make anything latch considering there are 2 Blink heroes on the opposing team.
Yeah, it's really hard to find these openings, actually ensure the kill.
Oh, mid.
But not so much maybe for 4CNL. Sexy Bambo gets on the run, but he doesn't get the help from the Light Strike Array as well as his own ultimate. Will give his own life though. So maybe next time in Skanks they're here to help make it a straight 1-for-1 trade of the mids, so yeah, no one really won there. According to the gold draft though, Golden Boys came out ahead.
Yeah, so
ever
two
so
things.
slightly.
Two things that are really nice there for Golden Boys. While they did lose Shadow Fiend, yeah, that totally sucks, I would agree. It was the the Wyvern who came in and got that experience. Lina got a little bit as well, but this Wyvern is now really close to level 6, and of course that Winter's Curse is a big spell. Wyvern here is playing the 5. You don't get to, you're stacking, you don't get experience. Being able to get in on a mid kill on the opposing mid, I think is the best way to salvage the fact that your mid went down as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as you're talking about that level 6 on the way. Felina as well, but she's only a little bit behind, but that's what we're seeing in 4CNL. Giving some room to EGM here in mid, just to make sure that he can get some solo XP, get some solo levels. Looking for the wand as well as the Yules, one would imagine here, with the stuff of Wizardry already picked up and ready in the stash. But yeah, both of these level 2s I want to say would, can mark the beginning of some more mid-game aggression here. I mean, well, obviously we saw the Queen of Pain, Sexy Bambo also already making those rotations, but if you have a big extra magic nuke, even up against the Huskar, I mean, if you open up with him when he's full health, then it still does pretty much all the damage that you would expect it to, so that Laguna Blade can make the difference there as well, if you manage to chain these skills correctly.
It's always scary. You need to lock him down, as you said. You have to lock him down the entire time, just because if you Laguna Blade him, get him low so that he is attacking so fast, your whole team may go down. So it's playing with fire, but they do have a good amount of... They have the silence on the Skywrath, they've got the stun, and they could certainly, if they can hook the Huskar and just battery assault him the whole time, they've got some hope. Although, hooking a Huskar, always a scary prospect. And it looks like they're just going to go for a top mid trade. I think pretty actually they're rotating back already for Golden Boys, and they should be able to push faster just based on the state of the tower's health. So yeah, they've already got top. They may actually just stop this push in mid for 4 Clovers. All force a big team fight. As I say that, they're actually going on clockwork. He's using the battery assault, being a real pain in the ass, but he is in no man's land. He hooks over to the creep wave, but I think he's going down, snowballing. Huskar doing Huskar things. They even commit the Winter's Curse, and no one from 4 Clovers wants to stay around.
Yeah, I think Nick was just trying to scout and he runs on the keys and everyone else just filed in. There was nowhere for him to go. He's trying to go for the hook out. That just opens themselves up for, a push in mid now. After taking up top tier 1 and not losing their own. That should be a done deal here. Madara is tanking for now. They will have a new creep wave coming in shortly. 4CNL, can they really come in? They still have the ultimate from the Queen of Pain, but they need something else. This is Noel actually on Sexy Bambo, has to blink away, that puts Tusk in a bad position. The Light Strike away will miss though. So that'll be enough to zone out 4CNL and get the tower on
also
side Gold
anti-mage.
Boys Pike at. What is he doing here? Already doing anti-mage things.
Yeah, he's trying to farm. He's going to just TP out. Actually losing these 2 towers. Oh, we have another engagement in bottom. No, Quap has a haste. Never mind. Nothing going to come of this. Losing this top tower and this mid tower for 4 Clovers is actually really painful since they're running the anti-mage. He wants to be able to farm his jungle safely. If something happens to him... Oh, yeah, I think there's more than enough backup here that Sexy Bambo can't actually get a kill. Yeah. And he knows it, so he's gonna just take a few burning spears, actually getting dunked, and doesn't blink away, knowing that it'll come follow him, but he takes a huge amount of damage there, right? Like, he got, what, 3 auto attacks off on him?
Yep.
Yeah.
2
Anyway,
or 3 and that's about it.
I was just trying to say that with this tower down, it's like, life gets rough for your anti-mage. If something goes wrong in the jungle, you can't rotate people to save him as easily, so he has to be careful. And Sexy Bambo on fire again. I don't know if you've seen this. If you hover over the tooltip for burning spears, it says, "You are on fire!" in capital letters. I really enjoy that.
Well, it is quite a powerful stick to have on you, right? So it just makes sense.
Yeah. I just think it's really cute. Like
just wish we'd have more of these kind of things in Dota, to be honest. But well, Madara, he has the arm that has the helm, wants to go for Roshan, that will be scattered up by Clockwork. 4CNL, they're on the way to try and contest. They still have Sonic Wave. They have the cloak shot. Now that's the point where they should probably get the hell out. Madara is going into pure burst territory.
This is like a super ambitious Roshan. Like, I think Golden Boy is maybe throwing the game here just because you're against a Clockwork, yeah, and they can see everything you're doing, Madara. You're gonna get Sonic Waved here in a second, and doesn't matter if you armlet toggle, you're getting Sonic Waved. Actually, maybe next time. Oh, so they get him, but yeah, they got the Aegis, and it looks like they're fine. Queen of Pain is dead. Okay.
Okay, that wasn't the timing that Forcinel was looking for. Now Pablo, that just dives to right clicks here. Kiza just gets it off across the tree line, and didn't really expect it to go this way. But hey, Huskar, man, he's kept at about 500 health for the most part, so that's still outside of the range where it can be one shot. But oh wow, Madara, he might still die here, maybe. But hey, no, it's a Huskar. 2 heroes up against him, he's just turning around. Nikwa, oh well, the Aegis will be triggered at the end of it all. With the, I don't know why, maybe just some mistiming on the armlet, I guess.
Oh, and he might get the courier as well, but now he's in a bad position. This is his death. He doesn't have a blink up, so not. Actually, how far away was he? He got his Battle Fury up, so he didn't lose any gold there. Yes, he lost farming time, and they might have to get some damage on this mid tower, but maybe potentially worth it when you think about the bounty you get for the courier. Everybody on your team gets a big bounty there. But yeah, really strange play from 4 Clovers coming out right now.
I'm super confused right now, but hey, Gold Boys are just gonna take it, right? I mean, they're happy to... I mean, the courier had a Gloves of Haste that was for the treads for Huskar, and now they're gonna go again. Snowball in. Very, very deep, actually cross. That's not where you want to be. Huskar will probably fall again. Same for EGM though. Madara comes in now. He turns around onto Nico. A couple of burning spears with the help from Skanks will secure that kill as well. That's a 3-for-1 trade across this entire sequence of events, and they're not gonna go for the tier 3 just yet. There's still plenty of tier 2s to take. They're gonna go back and defend their own tier 1s at the same time.
And this is the beauty of running a Huskar. He can fight early on. Shadow Fiend is also a hero that has a lot of damage early on compared to other heroes because of souls. He also went straight for the Sange, which tanks him up a bunch. It's really a nice spot for Golden Boys, and the anti-mage, he's now going to suffer, right? He has to farm up. He needs at least that Manta, I think, before he feels comfortable coming to team fights, maybe even more. And if Golden Boys keep pushing like this and just take the base, anti-mage's timings aren't going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, even though you have the Battle Fury, if you don't already have a bunch of stacks at the ready, your next item is still gonna wait, still gonna be coming in just a little bit later than you can really afford if you have this heavily momentum-based lineup in full gear. You have the Shadow Fiend here at 8k net worth, maybe not as much as you sometimes expect from some Shadow Fiends, but hey, still a very, very good spot to be in, and they're gonna look for more here. Maybe next time it's Gangster smoked up, looking to defend this mid-tier 1, which is doomed. It will fall now, and now the good skirts only at Pablo. Madara comes in, will secure that kill, but at what cost? Nikwa actually gets snowballed up in the back, he takes Madara en route, and that'll be a dead Clockwork. Very nice play there, coming in from maybe the next time with Madara, and yeah, once again, 2 heroes down for absolutely nothing. That tier 1 was gonna fall no matter what.
I really have to commend maybe next time there, he actually held his ice shards. I think realizing that he might put, if he missed or if he got unlucky with the ice shards cogs, the clock maybe could have gotten away, and so he held it and ended up getting really lucky there. Now he might be able to kill EGM. I don't think he gets this kill. He can throw out the ice shards for more damage, the Walrus Punch as well. Oh man, no, but she's dead. Gonna dodge the Light Strike Array, and EGM is gonna go down, trying to use that Yule to buy herself some time, but I think eventually the auto attack's just gonna do it. Can that be the return kill though? He's owning himself up. I don't think Pablo is able to get into range. Well played, maybe next time. I think EGM did a nice job of trying to delay things, but not enough.
At the same time, with a Wild Goose Chase down on the bottom lane, Sexy Gumbo, they tried to catch him out, but he was able to juke and jive. Was kind of rapidly switching here the cameras back and forth to just catch everything that's happening, but yeah, at the end of the day, another kill for Golden Boys, and no opposition down here in the bottom lane. Forcinel, they're trying to play the split push game in mid as well as top lane, as Pycat is up here.
Now Pycat's going back for the Vlads. Oh, actually, a snowball? Please tell me that's onto the creeps, yeah, of course. So. I'm a little bit surprised he went for the Vlads. It feels like there's a sense of urgency here, but it does give you some good armor. It gives you, of course, a bit of sustain in team fights. And maybe he's thinking the damage amp as well, just because Huskar is physical, will help his team more than him getting that Manta up and draining. You know, you don't exactly mana bomb a Huskar, right? 1, he doesn't care about magic damage, and 2, he doesn't have a lot of mana.
Yep. There's not going to be a whole lot of damage done here, especially considering that it is magical damage, so if you drain all this mana, and then you use the mana void. What little damage you do is going to get mitigated even further, so it's not really a thing that you should be doing at any time really as an anti-mage up against a Huskar.
You do want to use it on Darkseer though. I think Darkseer is your best bet. If this anti-mage can jump the Darkseer, he could do a lot of damage potentially to their team. Now, I'm just trying to brainstorm ways that 4 Clovers get back into this. I really think it's one of those games where you have to dodge fights until you're big enough. Unfortunately, they only have 1 tier 2 left, so I'm not sure what is the best way to save your base while dodging fights. And actually, Queen of Pain has gone. Sexy Bambo went the Aghanims, understanding that they need D-push and they need it now.
Yeah, that'll definitely take care of a creep wave here, and it'll make sure that you always have that available in case you find an opening on to the Huskar. But who will find an opening on who? I see a snowball down at the bottom. They will find EGM, will use up the task, but help is already on the way. Skanks over and across the Ice Shots man as well. That should be a dead Lina. No one there to help him out actually. It'll take a while.
Yeah,
Please, just die.
No, so this is fantastic. EGM is buying repeatedly so much more time. Anti-Mage isn't at full split push here yet, but he's doing a really good job, right? He's going to either force them back bottom or they're trading a tier 2 for a tier 2. Considering how far behind you are on the lineup of 4 Clovers, you don't want to be trading like... sorry, on 4 Clovers, you would love to be trading like this. Golden Boys, they're in control of this game. They can't... Like, these trades are what gets 4 Clovers back in. Oh gosh, he's just wave cutting now too. That's so cute.
During that chase, Queen of Pain was actually... Okay, they might see another fight. Kaiser, he gets hookshot and Nikwa right into the Rectal Souls. But so he will fall now. Kaiser not really feeling it, as maybe next time... Yeah, he just takes down Pablo. It was like... I don't know what was happening there, but... Just the Golden Boy is just... Yeah, just using the dominance...
Oh no, the Ice Shots actually block Wyvern out. What have you done? They get off the Winter's Curse, but that's not where you want to be in. But saves him from the Sonic Wave and the Snowball. EGM's gonna go down again. Sexy Bambo has to blink away. And I think that's the end of that team fight. Apparently we're getting some lag. I'm guessing, I don't know if it's on Twitch's end or our end.
Might be my end. I'm not getting any drop frames though. So I'm not 100% sure. We should be okay.
Yeah, it could be Twitch. We've had some issues. Twitch has been having issues for the past few weeks, I know, with some server stuff. Don't know what's up with that. I think they're just like switching over providers or something. But yeah, Huskar's now got up evasion. So have fun trying to hit him. And Anti-Mage, he still needs a Manta. He can't even think of going MKB yet.
Yeah, it's a really tough spot to be in, but yeah, Falsey now, as you were talking about, they're making the best of it. And during the time where they chased around EGM in the jungle, Sexy Bambo was actually taking the time to just blink across on the top lane here, just wiping the creep waves and then even skipping, just to make sure that they can't go for his tier 2 tower. And at the same time, Pycat was doing a split push down at bottom, so they're making the best of a bad situation right now, just to try and find time until the Anti-Mage gets really up and going, where he's pretty much 6-slotted and doesn't really have to worry about anything anymore.
Yeah, Skylark now also has up those Guardian Greaves that we talked about before. He's not worried anymore about the silence. They have a pretty good lineup on the lineup of Golden Boys for slow sieging if they need to. Of course, Anti-Mage might get something, but you're okay trading a tier 2, I think, if you get the kill. And now Pycat, he blinks away, he TPs. He knows he's in the danger zone. They walked right over a Dire Ward right here in that gank attempt.
Dire and a Radiant Observer sitting right next to each other, oblivious of each other as well. It's kind of hilarious to see sometimes as a caster, but well, that will enable Pycat to dodge the gank once again. Someone who will not be dodging any ganks whatsoever though is Roshan, who will be up in quite a few minutes. A little bit more than a minute, I would say. That'll be a next target for Golden Boys, as well as for 4CNL. Maybe they can mount a better defense, or maybe they can snag it for themselves before the Huskar can get a chance to work away them.
Yeah, now, if they do make a mistake on goal, let's see if... I don't think they can catch Pycat either. It's something where, we talked about it before, they didn't exactly go for more lockdown. Oh gosh, but Winter's Curse will do it. There, they pop it. They're gonna be able to lock it down. Snowball will come out as well. Walrus Punch. Oh, they didn't use it. They didn't chain them right. Ice Shards, will they get him? He's on a slither of health. He's at 20. He was at 20 health there. He's regenerating up so fast because of all the items he has, and they have whiffed it.
Well, Skylark will skill.
Oh,
He scouts him out, but it's too late. Another blink, but maybe next time.
They need to ice shot him. They need to punch him. One more auto attack. No, he's healing up too fast, and they should have earned him. I don't know whether. I think that was a misclick. I think he meant to earn the anti-mage.
Absolutely. But the great escape. Pycat barely gets out. I'm not quite sure how he did that, but he did. Hands on the Golden Boys, though. They expected his movements tremendously well. Just splitting well enough, just put the Doxy behind him here in the Sig Chop area and having a backup plan, so to speak, from the Tusk. Unlucky that it didn't work out here with the missed Earn Charge, but still, good effort, still putting on pressure on Pycat, letting him know that he can't really do what he wants just yet without having to look between his shoulder, look behind his shoulders, so to speak.
It's really bad for them though on Golden Boys that they whiffed that kill though. I feel like just overestimating the timings on Snowball Stun, just big whiff, unfortunately. But they get the Roshan, and this will certainly help them siege high ground. They do want to, on Golden Boys, take a rack sometime soon. They can certainly itemize to try to go later than this anti-mage, but he is being a big pain, and they're lacking lockdown. Unless this Doxy's next item is something like a Steep, which he won't have for a while, it's gonna be harder and harder to catch that anti-mage.
Now, split push is real. Both off lanes are being pushed at the same time from respective teams, and now I'm being called on a cell phone. We won't have that, thank you very much. Madara here leading charge, followed by Kaiser and Skylark. They're looking to put on the pressure, slow siege as he said, but Clockwork, well, there's some things that you can try and do, but the cogs won't really stand the test of right clicks for too long.
Yeah, they're actually backing out. I mean, they have quite a while on the Aegis left, maybe just deciding they'll try to take that tier 2 up top, but normally when you try to take the outer towers, you're kind of hoping that your opponents are silly enough to fight you. One, for, you know, we're professional Dota, they're not gonna fall for that, although maybe they're gonna get a gank here. Oh goodness, looks like Doxir is in the danger zone. Skylark, he's trying to juke, he's trying to jive, he actually wall vacuums, he's now cold embrace, but now they put the lockdown on Pycat, they have the Loris punch there, they need a bit more, and they've killed off the Pycat raid boss, and suddenly Sexy Bambo realizes he doesn't want to be there either. I was gonna say, I don't think Doxia can get away from those two if he's alone, but the Cold Embrace, even though it meant Doxia had no mana, does mean he's not taking a hell of a lot of damage from the anti-mage.
Yeah, very good reaction there from Golden Boys, and that's exactly the lineup that they drafted for, or the combo that they drafted to deal with these high mobility heroes that are really hard to lock down. Winter Scourge into the Tusk, extra bit of burst damage and control, and yeah, they got them the kill on arguably the most important hero for Clovis right now, and that also opens themselves up for maybe another kill down here on the Queen of Pain, but only the Tusk is not enough lockdown for that. But hey, space created, the mid-tier 3 tower is under pressure. New creep buff coming in, Madara, he still has his Aegis, he doesn't even give a damn. Kaiser sieging from low ground as well. What can 4CNL do to defend against this? They already used Sonic Wave now, which didn't really do anything.
It just tickled them. I don't think they have a good lineup for defense. They do have a lineup that has some good wave clear for being down one set of racks. They can handle super creeps. Probably not megas, but they won't be able to get megas since this tower is up, and I don't even know if Golden Boys wants to keep going in. It looks like they do though. EGM, he's only halfway. Oh, he's actually closer. He's gonna get Loris punched up though. It doesn't matter how close he is to his Aghanim. It is not coming out, and there's a dunk. Mystic Blood doesn't even damage Madara. He took no damage with that Berserker's Blood, and now they're gonna walk on this tower. Madara's still going in ham. He's like, might as well use his Aegis. It's expiring in like 2 minutes. Let me get rid of that thing. And yeah, they're gonna get probably supers in 2 lanes. Pycat is desperately trying to push, but I don't think they have a good defense, and he's still not coming home. There's a buyback on the Clockwork. He does have the hook, but even if they kill Madara here, we're looking at, yeah, he has 2 full minutes left on the Aegis. He is happy to use it here, and this is 2 lanes of supers for Golden Boys. Loris punch up as well. Oh.
Madara goes to Clockwork at the same time. Yeah, it's not really a whole lot they can do up against the jumping potential from the Golden Boys. And Sexy Bambo, sure, he has another ultimate, but it's on level 2. It's not nearly enough to bring down Madara.
Pycat is on bottom.
Ages. And now the Winter goes on to Sexy Bambo. They're just gonna jump on him, bring it down. Maybe not. Will he better take that? Not with 2 charges inside the fountain, but he will barely survive. But at what cost? Doesn't really matter right now. The 2 racks down. Pycat didn't even scratch tier 3 top.
He
Oh,
did.
well,
He did. He got it
but...
below half health, and
Yeah.
that is actually pretty good for them. Unfortunately, it's the one lane that they don't have pressure on. So this is the lane that Golden Boys will keep going on because now they don't have to worry as much about these two. So if you were down one rack, that would be a much easier story because you can keep pressuring all around the map. But there is natural pressure on these other lanes, so Pycat's probably not going to get too many more opportunities to be up here just because the Golden Boys will focus making sure this lane is safe.
Yep. Keys is with the creep wave right now, scouting out as well as pushing out, whereas the rest of his team just once again taking control of the dire side jungle. 4CNL, they're locked in a base, the revenue is all but capped in half here with these two waves. And it's going to get harder and harder to actually bring them down, or even with the Sonic Wave on 40-second cooldown. Skylark even skipping, and that should be a dead tier 2 4CNL. Nothing really they can do to defend this here. Or is there? They're at least getting some vision up in preparation for a high ground defense.
I mean, they're trying to do whatever they can, push out the lanes so that they can actually fight this and, as you said, not lose their base. But at the same time, I don't know what you go here next. Queen of Pain, I think she just needs a sheep stick. A Shiva's maybe would help too, but I think it's too little too late. And they need some way to actually kill these heroes. Now, Madara doesn't have the Aegis anymore, but he has a Satanic. So you're still in the danger zone. He actually gets Yule's up, maybe a mistake because that hookshot cooldown wasn't done yet. Madara, he eats the full Laguna Blade. Now he's just going to start regenning off of them. Winter's Curse as well on EGM. This is GG. We've got buybacks coming out of Queen of Pain. Pycat's trying to do something, but he is about to be locked down. Does he have to blink away? He does. He actually blinks backwards. So now they can just work on this tower. Sexy Bambo uses the Sonic Wave, but he's dead. And he's dead for the count. This is going to be Rax. Let's see if Pycat. He does blow off the Wyvern. That's a nice little kill, but that's our GG call. Short first game.
Absolutely, and yeah, it's the timing windows that we were talking about. Golden Boys, they hit theirs with their last pick Huskar, that 4CNL weren't really ready for. And yeah, the anti-mage, Pycat farms as well as Pycat farms, which is pretty damn good, but it's just, even on an anti-mage, he's not gonna get online fast enough to deal with Huskar like this.